Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round of the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship, and we have got Snetterton for today. Back to the UK then to round off the championship, and well, coming into this round, pretty much Michael Thomas has already taken the championship win. He doesn't even need to race today to secure that win, but I think he's going to do a last to first, I believe, is what he's going to try. At least he's going to start from the back, from the pit lane. Well, not from the pit lane, but from the back of the grid, and try and make his way up through the field. So that could be quite interesting throughout the race, but it is Thomas who has already taken the championship win. Obviously, even if he DNF'd today, that first round, which he's actually taken as his drop round so far, would be his DNF, and Pisano, even if he finishes first and Thomas DNFs today, well, the points difference is, I believe it's about 11 points between P1 and P3, and at the moment between those two it is 14 points. So yeah, Pisano with nothing he can do in this championship to take the win now. So congratulations to Michael Thomas, but the fight is still on, I believe, between Pisano and Demori, P2 and P3, just 33 points apart. Vining in P4 with 534 points. Pitchik, I believe, isn't here today, on 453. Orange in 6th on 450. Tobin in 6th on 442. Raggy in 8th on 407, with Gale in 9th on 399. Packham in 10th, who I believe isn't here today either, on 369, and Van Hoorn in 11th on 354. Faulkner in 12th on 336. Pryor in 13th on 316, and Vesseling in 14th on 304. There we have it. Now looks like Demori in this qualifying session is currently on provisional pole, 1:47.265. We've seen faster times than that in the practice session. I believe the driver's getting into the 1:46s, but just 7 thousandths separating P1 and P2 in this qualifying session so far. And remember, it is only a fast track, but Demori is currently 2 tenths up, and looks like oh no, Packham is here, P10. My eyes aren't working today. But Giuseppe, I believe, did put a lap in. I think it may have been invalid the last time around. Yes, it was. He put in a 1:56.8, but it was an invalid lap, so he's got to do that all over again. Demori's still 2 tenths up as we speak, going to the last couple of corners on this circuit at Snetterton. Very difficult sector 3 here at this track. Really narrow, and it's quite an awkward line you have to take, but Demori is going to cross the line 3 tenths up with a good improvement. That's going to put him into the 1:46s on a fast track. So a very good time there from Demori, but no, Pisano has just crossed the line and is at a 1:46.4. There's a 4 tenths quicker than Demori, and he's looking to take pole position in this qualifying session. Still lots of time to go though, and Pisano ever so slightly up on his time. He's going to get a bit of a tow from the Ferrari of Demori in front, and looks like Faulkner just goes into P2 there, 3 tenths off. Finally got his livery on. I believe it's the Distinct.GG team he's racing with. Lovely looking livery there on that Ferrari. Now, who else is up on their time? Demori is 2 tenths up, but he needs more than that there to take pole position back off of Pisano. Raggy is 3 tenths up. Packham is 2 tenths up. Packham's not doing too bad, 1.7 off. Currently in P6 at the moment. We've still got a few drivers yet to set times. Obviously Thomas in the pit lane. Giuseppe still has to set a valid lap, and looks like McGowan there has just put in a time down in P11. Who's about to cross the line? We've just had the 65 car of Giuseppe across the line, 1:53.9 he just did there. And now we've got the 21 and 54 cars about to cross the line. So that's Demori and Pisano. Demori 3/10 up as he approaches the final corner. Pisano doesn't seem to be up on his time. 4/10 up, 5/10 up for Demori. This could be him back on provisional pole, and it looks like it just might be. Actually, no, Pisano's used the slipstream to his advantage, and I think he's going to gain back provisional pole there. And wow, Demori was just able to grab pole until Pisano got a great exit, used the slipstream to his advantage, and that helped him gain just enough he needed to gain back pole there towards the end. But I'm sure both these drivers will be going back out on track as the track conditions start to improve towards the end of this qualifying session. Vining just crosses the line to do his personal best of 146.8 prior. 7/10 up, currently sitting in P7 as well. And he rounds the final corner now, using all the inside curb, but not using any exit curb, interestingly. But still 7/10 up as he approaches the line. Where is this going to put him? Possibly in P6. Is it enough? Yes, it is. There we go. So Pryor up into P6, and looks like he's pulling towards the grass there off the main straight. He'll return to the pits, so we get some fresh rubber. And the top two, Pisano and Demori, are back out on track now. See if they can improve any more. Galley in P8 at the moment, 8/10 up. He's only just pretty much started this lap, so he's got lots more time. He's a whole second up on this lap. We could see him in P6 unless there is more time to find for him in this next sector, or this last sector that we're approaching at the moment. A very difficult chicane that Galley is approaching. Very awkward braking zone as well, and it's so easy to run wide. But Galley had a bit of a twitch on the exit, but he's still on the tarmac, on the black stuff, which is important because he's over a second up on his lap time now as he approaches the final corner. And he keeps it together, he uses the inside curb, he's a bit of the exit curb here, but he's now 8/10 up, so he's lost a bit of time through that last sector actually. And no, 7/10, so he's lost another 10th there, but up into P8 he goes, and he just needed another 10th or two to gain P7 off of Packham. That's what he's going to try and do now. Packham is a whole half a second up as he rounds the final corner, so the Galley is actually going to need more than that to gain a position on Packham in this qualifying session. But he crosses the line and up into P6 goes Packham, pulls towards the side of the track now. And who's that crossing the line? I believe it was... No, it wasn't Vining. I think it was Demori. Yes, it was Demori, who has just started the lap now, heading down towards turn 2. Let's go on board here with Demori for a lap of Snetterton. So approaching turn 3 now. Not too much braking required for this one. Fairly fast corner is turn 3. And we get down towards turn 4. Heavy braking zone. Much slower corner here. Pretty much a hairpin. We can class it as one. And there we go. Demori's car seems very stable at the moment. But he is currently a 10th down, so maybe stable for Demori. Not the quickest way to go. He's trying to push that car at the moment, but yeah, there we go. A bit of oversteer now on the exit. But in fact, that's not going to give him a great run down the Williams Straight. Into the chicane section now. Using a bit of curb, not much though. He uses it on the exit, he's on the grass, and he's going to lose time. You can hear the traction control kicking in, and well, for Demori, he's not going to improve this time around. You can see they're just letting the car coast, scrub off that speed as he approaches the final corner, just to be able to line himself up for the final corner, so he can brake in a straight line, and then hammer the throttle on the exit. But it's not going to be an improvement for Demori that time around. And he's got possibly... he's got 2 or 3 more laps here to improve. So we'll see what he can do. Pisano with no improvement either. Where is he on track? Approaching the start-finish line now. But yeah, no improvement that time out from Pisano. Exactly a 10th off to his best lap of the session. Gallet a 10th up currently, and he is still in P7, so still needs a 10th to get past Packham here. Still looking for that P6 in this qualifying session. No one else up for an improvement just yet. Pisano, you can see pushing the car, using all of the exit available here at the moment. He's really not comfortable with that gap he's got to Demori. He wants to improve some more to be able to feel comfortable towards the end of this qualifying session, which we're already in. Just 2 minutes remaining now. You can really tell he's pushing the car here. Taking a bit of the grass, bit of the dirt as well. It's not going to help his tyres. Once again, using all of the track available is Pisano. What can he do here on this lap? Looks like Faulkner's just, I believe he's finished his lap and he's going to return the car to the pits now as Faulkner. Pisano is matching his best lap. This is going to be very, very close for him. It looks like he may have some traffic in front. I believe that's McGowan. No, it looks like it's a bit too far back. A bit too far in front is McGowan. But it could possibly be a bit of a slipstream. No, I don't think so. As Pisano crosses the line. Oh, I don't think it's going to be an improvement from Pisano. Where? Oh, it might be actually. Yes, it is. Ever so slightly. 600ths. And where's Demori? He was a 10th or 2 up. But that's no longer the case. So maybe he had a good entry but a poor exit, and Pisano is stopped on the track. There we go. He's returned to garage now. Demori is very, very close to his personal best as well. I think we're going to see this qualifying session come down towards the last lap here. Can Demori do it? Or will Pisano be victorious in this qualifying session? A qualifying position at Snetterton is fairly important. It is a narrow track and it's not easy to overtake here. In fact, it's very easy to defend around Snetterton. All you have to do is park the car on the apex and, well, there's not much the driver behind can do, the car behind can do. Demori, what has he got left in the tank here? Only one more corner to go. He approaches the final corner now. He needs to find some more time. A 10th he needs to find, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. And that is it for Demori. So Pisano takes Demori in P2 and Faulkner in P3. That is our qualifying session, ladies and gents, and we will be back in just a moment for the final race of the season here in the Next Level Racing GT3 Championship at Snetterton. Okay, we're starting the formation now for this 1 hour race at Snetterton. As we saw in the qualifying session, Pisano taking pole by just a tenth to Mori and P2, trying in the last lap to take pole back off of Pisano. Wasn't successful in the end. But nevertheless, he is starting on the front row, and sometimes that's all you need in the race. Qualifying can be important, like I mentioned earlier, at this circuit especially, but if Pisano gets a bad start, which we've seen him had before, Demora can easily take the race lead into turn 1, turn 2 even, which is a very heavy braking zone. And let's get a grid walk for the drivers on the track now. Got a few comments coming in as well. We've got BYS and Nico saying showing their support for Galley. Jackcroft saying who should he support? No TractionDave. Yeah, he's not in this championship. Jackcroft also saying another hour race. Yeah, all our PC races currently are hour races. Next season on Saturdays, we will have the VCO qualifiers, which will see the top 8 teams have a chance to enter the grand final playoffs, and that will be run on Saturdays, 90-minute races with teams of 2, also sponsored by Next Level Racing. We can't wait for that to start. We'll have possibly around 40-50 teams taking part in that event. But oops. There we go. We should have the drivers lining up double file very shortly. They're into the final sector now. Once again, some more support for Galley. Jack says he's supporting Thomas now. Thomas has already won the championship and he's doing a last to first challenge here. It's not going to be easy though by any means, especially with the likes of Pisano, Demori, Vining and Faulkner in the top 4. You've all seen passing near the front. Race after race, round after round. But Thomas just has to pick off the drivers towards the back one by one here. And let's see, we're about to go green any moment now. And we should be green very shortly. There we go, we are green. The marshal's waving green flags. Pisano off to a good start, pulls towards the racing line, and Demori looking for a move into turn 1. He's going to back out of that, but Vining almost being tagged there by Faulkner. That could have ended quite badly for the two, but in the background that's Raggy, and I believe that's Packham going side by side up towards turn 2. Raggy's got the inside line, Packham trying it around the outside, but that's going to invite Galley down the inside now. These two are now side by side here, and we're going to have to get a helicam because we can't see anything with all these cars going into turn 3 now. Galley's slightly wide, they're missing the apex by a bit, and Thomas already up into P8. He's had a great start and he's looking for a move here. Galley is going to be later on the brakes. He is. He's got his nose down the inside. Oh, very late on the brakes there from Packham, almost tagging the back of Raggy, but by doing so he's got a bad exit, and now that's Thomas ahead of Galley. Galley not able to do anything, has dropped down to P8, is now having to fend off the train of cars behind him. He's got Pryor, Besseling, McGowan and Giuseppe all behind him as well. I believe we had Van Hoorn in here too, but I think he's had some issues with his equipment, so don't think he's able to race today. And all that is Pryor off. What happened to Pryor there? That's not the racing line we want to be taking there. You can't park there, sir. But he's continued, and he's now joined the back of the field. Looked to be a bit of a mistake there from him. We know that the chicane at the end of the Williams straight is such a difficult section of the track. It's so easy to get the rear out or fly over the sausage curb. That's there as well. But it looks like Pisano's still leading the race. It's opened up a second here to DeMori. So DeMori had some brilliant qualifying pace, but in the race, he's dropping back off of Pisano. Doesn't seem to have the raw pace at the start of the races here. And looks like Thomas has just made a move on Raggy. Up into P5 goes Thomas. You can see that Besselink in the background fending off McGowan now. Thomas really pushing the car, try and make his way up towards the front end of the field. In fact, he's already P5, so his next target, Faulkner ahead, which he's about 2.5 seconds off of, well, nearly 3 seconds off of actually. He's doing a good job now with Faulkner, DeMori, Faulkner, Vining and DeMori also close here. They're not really battling at the moment, no one's going for a move, but if they start to, which I'm sure they don't want to be doing, they're going to be losing even more time to Pisano, but Pisano is pulling away at the moment from the rest of the field. 2.1 seconds, and I think Thomas needs to put in some really good laps here in this first stint if he wants to close that gap right down. But of course he's got to catch these four in front, which he is catching by a rate of knots at the moment. He's closed in by nearly a second this lap on Faulkner, Vining and DeMori, but he's got to get past them as well, which isn't going to be easy by any means, and that's where he's going to lose the most time. So for Thomas, possibly an early pit stop. And we look down towards P9, Besselink is pulling away from McGowan. He's now catching the other Porsche driver, Gallet, in P8. What can Besselink do here? Running a different livery this time around to what he was using the last time. I believe we've got some comments coming in as well. I'll have a read of them in just a moment. It looks like Vining still in the back of DeMori. Faulkner's dropped off slightly though, and Besselink not able to close that gap just yet to Gallet. We have to go back to Vining, who's still on the back of DeMori, but you can see Faulkner in the background now dropping off. That last lap he was 0.3 slower than Vining in P3, so that's where he's lost time. And Thomas 1:46.4, exactly to the 1,000th a tenth slower than the race leader Pisano. Thomas has what it takes to get P1 here, but it's been much more interesting with him starting towards the back of the field, and now he's got to get past the three other drivers ahead of him to then battle with Pisano for the lead of this race. And let's go on board here with Thomas as we see Besselink fighting with Gallet for position here. P8 and P9, both the Porsches now on track within a few tenths of each other. See there, Faulkner with a bit of a mistake through turn one. Thomas early in the brakes there. In fact, he's got so close to the back of that Ferrari. There's just nowhere to go. He's putting on the pressure here to Faulkner. Can easily force him into a mistake at this point in the race. And will Thomas look towards a move here? No, he doesn't. But he's so close, really glued to that rear bumper of that Ferrari. Now, the front end, the bonnet of this Mercedes AMG is very, very long. Obviously, front engine car, so the engine's in the front, but it is a very long car at the front. We're sitting quite far back from the front of the car, But sometimes it can be very difficult to judge how close you are. But obviously that comes with experience. And Thomas looking for a move. Nowhere to go just yet. Bit of grass being thrown up there. Bit of dirt being thrown up as well. Slight mistake from someone going through the chicane. Thomas not able to do anything just yet. In fact, he's lost some time now to Faulkner. And looks like that's Vining slightly wide on the exit of the final corner. He's lost so much time to DeMori. DeMori now the fastest lap of the race. So there we go. That's the pace we saw in qualifying. And oh, a huge snap of oversteer there for Thomas. Well held. But that could have been him into the barriers. Luckily, he caught that just in time. But that could have been really, really bad there for Thomas. Now DeMori, that last lap, 2/10 quicker than Pisano. He's now inching back closer, lap after lap, to the race leader. Maybe just needed to get into the rhythm of the race. Possibly a bit of a warm-up needed after qualifying. Of course, in qualifying, you've got to get yourself in the right mindset. Set the fastest lap possible, and then you've got to get yourself in the mindset of doing a 1 hour race straight after that. Usually in most motorsports you'd have a break between qualifying and race, or they'd be on different days, but obviously with sim racing most of the time it is qualifying straight to the race, so it's a whole different approach you need going into these races. And Besseling's still on the back of Gallet, 6/10 off, half a second off actually now. Looks like he's got a good exit there out of the chicane. Can he get any closer in this final sector? Jackcroft saying when he gets older he's going to race one of these and win. Yeah, that's lovely to hear. And Faulkner right on the back of Vining now. He's going to look for a move into turn 2. No, he thinks better of it. You see there Vining turning in early. Faulkner trying to go for a later apex and maximise his exit speed here, but doesn't look like it's helped too much. Probably best to just hug the inside of the corner, trail the brakes around to keep the front end pointed into the ground. And Besselink really trying to get past now. We'll go on board with him there in the bottom right hand corner, taking a bit too much curb, bouncing over the curb and on the exits route, taking a bit of the grass too. And look how much time he's lost. Almost a second, well, almost half a second actually lost just by getting a couple of corners slightly wrong. And now these three, Vining, Faulkner and Thomas, very, very close to Mori. That last lap has lost, or even this lap has lost lots of time. That last lap from Pisano, 1:46.0, almost into the 1:45s is Pisano. That is ridiculous pace here from the race leader. And Faulkner currently in a Mercedes RKM sandwich. He's going to be seeing double here. Same car in front of him. The exact same livery as well. Behind him too. Approaching the final corner. Now Besselink looks like he's right in the back of Gallet. He seems to catch up and make a mistake and fall back behind. He just needs to keep it consistent, does Besselink. Especially if he wants to get this move done on Gallet, but it's not going to be easy there. Slightly different lines through the final corner between the two of them. Now approaching turn 1. Besselink has lost a bit of time once again. But for these three, Vining, Faulkner and Thomas, they are closing back up to DeMori once again. DeMori that last time round did very similar times to Vining, a 46.9 for the both of them. Just look how close these three are. They've raced with each other throughout the whole championship. They know they can respect each other on track, and that's a horrible exit there from Faulkner. Thomas looks for a move down the inside, but a fast left-hander. Oh, he's clipped the barriers, and that's him round. And I think he's going to get some damage after that as well. That's the problem with following so close to the car in front. If you misjudge your turning point, that's it. You're off, and Thomas is going to pick up some damage after that as well. He's now behind Raggy, so he's got to do all that work all over again. But I don't think he'll be too worried. He knows he's won the championship. Look at that. That's nearly 10 seconds. Well, it is 10 seconds behind Faulkner. It's a lot of time lost there from that incident. And we go back to Faulkner, who's stuck to the back of Vining. Not let him go, and Bestlink as well on the back of Gallet. But unable to get past still. Really struggling. Maybe not trying to fight too hard at this point in the race. But if he knows he's quicker and late on the brakes there through the final corner for Bestlink, and in fact that's going to hinder his run down towards turn 1, and Faulkner looking for a move down the inside into turn 2, but backs out of it. That could have ended up in contact, but Faulkner slammed on the anchors there to avoid that. Tried to force Vining into an error maybe, but Vining unfazed at this moment in time. And Thomas now on the back of Raggy as well. Is he going to be able to get past as easily as he did last time? Or was Raggy going to put up a fight? In fact, he looked like he was going defensive here, but he knows Thomas isn't close enough for a move, so he can comfortably take the normal racing line here. You can see the difference in lines between the two. Thomas using a lot more of the exit, a lot more of the track available here, which is going to help him carry that speed through the corners. Whereas Raggy, limiting himself to just the tarmac and not using much of the runoff or the curbs he's got available. He is here onto the Williams straight. This is where the Mercedes will excel on the straight, and he's got the slipstream as well. Is he going to look for a move here? This is going to be very dangerous to go for one, but he is. He's got the inside, and Raggy backs out of that. Thomas now up into P5, and well, it looked quite easy there this time around for Thomas. But I think Raggy knows that Thomas is out of position. Another mistake there for Bestlink. He gets so close to this final sector, especially, and then I think maybe pushing a bit too hard, which causes him to make a few errors. Let's see if he can get a good run here out of the final corner. He lined himself perfectly there in the braking zone. In fact, Gallet, as we saw, turned in quite early for the final corner. But Bestlink is not close enough this time around. A bit of oversteer entry there for Bestlink going through turn 1. And we see there as well, Gallet seemed to be suffering with the same thing. Still got some room there on the track. Both the drivers not using much of the inside curve into turn 2. Faulkner in P3 now has got past Vining. I wasn't paying attention to that, so let's see if we can get a replay of that up. Just a moment. That's Faulkner into P3, and looks like Packham. Oh, Besselink's dropped down the order just as we switched off. He is... Oh no, sorry, Raggy's dropped down the order, not Bestlink. Raggy's down in P9. Bestlink and Gallet move up to P7 and 8. So Raggy's made a mistake. No damage on his car. I assume it was... Well, maybe it could have been where Thomas lost the car as well. That curb on the inside can be quite lethal. But although Thomas did hit the tyre barriers when he lost the car. Oh, and actually it looks like Vining made a bit of a mistake, caused him to lose the position to Faulkner. And that's the thing with the UK circuits, there's no room for error with the grass either side. You can see that taking too much curb, and that was it. Had to slam on the anchors and let Faulkner through. But Faulkner's now pulling away from Vining. Vining's got some dirt on his tyres, he's got to try and clean them now. Right, back to this battle between Besselink and Gallet, and Raggy's still there. He was further up the order. I won't be surprised if he's able to catch up to these two, especially while they're battling. Yeah, Raggy is now closing in the gap. It's down to a second. And look at that. On entry, Besselink has closed right up to the back of Gallet. I think this is the closest he's been so far. There's hardly anything separating them, but into the final corner, this is where we saw Besselink make a huge error. I think he needs to back off slightly to give him a better run up towards turn 1, and he's done exactly that, and it's actually helped him there. He's got a good run now. He's going to have the slipstream, but it's not going to be close enough. Turn 1 is not a heavy braking zone. You need to really be alongside beforehand, but if he's got the overspeed into turn 1 and he uses that to his advantage to get a move into turn 2, and no, he slowed the car right down there through turn 1, and it's not going to be enough for him to go for a move into turn 2. Maybe just not attacking too hard just yet. We have got the pit window, which will open up in about a minute and a half. Besselink could try and go for an undercut. I think that's his best bet to get a move done here on Gallet. And just to make sure Raggy doesn't get past either. And all very deep on the brakes there for Besselink. In fact, Raggy might have a chance of getting past, but no, slots back in behind, and they are so close at the moment. In fact, you can't even see Raggy's car there behind on the rear wing cam. That rear wing is so big, but bit of a mistake once again for Besselink as they approach the straight. Raggy looking for a move down the inside and backs out of it, but forces Besselink to take a slightly different line. Looks like he seems to be okay for now. Does Besselink, but they're losing time now to Gallet with these two battling. Now Pisano has pulled a 5-second lead to Demori here. I believe we've seen Pisano make mistakes in the pits before, so Demori just needs to hope for Pisano to have a bad pit stop, or the other option would be for Demori not to change his tyres. Changing tyres adds an extra 5 seconds to your pit stop time, and if Demori can manage the gap to Pisano and keep it at 5 seconds or under, you could have a good chance of gaining track position after their pit stops. But then he's going to be on used tyres, and he's going to have to defend Pisano. He's going to have to defend for his life. Gap seems to be down to 4.5 now. We could possibly see Demori going for a risky strategy. Let us know in the comments what you'd be doing in that situation. Do you change tyres, or do you go for the risk and not change? And in fact, Demori's closing that gap down back to Pisano. It's down to 4 seconds now, so maybe he might not need to. I think he's going to have to wait a bit longer, and Besselink wide there onto the straight, and surely Raggy's going to have a chance of getting past now. And Besselink looks like he's in the middle of the track. Raggy's got the inside, and I'm not sure there's much Besseling can do here. Has to back out of that, and he does. Raggy up the inside into P8, and jumps over the sausage curb. No, and Besseling is going to get back past here, and there we go. Up into P8 once again goes Besseling, and Raggy just carrying a bit too much speed there. Ended up making a mistake, but Pryor has now served his mandatory pit stop. He's in P11, but these two are battling. They've let Gallet pull 2.2 seconds from them. It's not going to be easy to catch him, especially with the similar lap times that Besseling and Gallet were doing previously. I think they're going to have to rely on pit stops, these two, to be able to catch up. Let's go back to Hoorn, who's still 2.2 seconds ahead of Vining, and he is pulling away lap after lap. He was actually half a second quicker last time round compared to Vining, but about 2 or 3 tenths quicker than DeMaury that last time round as well. The race leader, Pisano, had an absolute mare that last time round of 148.4 for Pisano. He either did what Raggy did and flew over that sausage curb, or he is starting to struggle with his tyres now. I think this will be a much quicker lap on Pisano. I think it'll be around the 46 again. Pisano, let's see as he crosses the line. Yeah, 46.4 there for Pisano. DeMaury's going to need more than that. 46.7 for DeMaury. I think he needs to rely on Pisano to make a few more mistakes here. And the risk of DeMaury not changing tyres can definitely be worth it. Can pay off. And in fact, if he's able to hold Pisano off after coming out in front, after the pit stops, he could back up the pack and close and cause Faulkner, Vining, Thomas and the rest to all close in. That's Gallet now into the pits. Besseling and Raggy staying out on track. Interesting strategy, Besseling and Raggy. If I were them, probably would have pitted a bit earlier. I would not want to be involved in that battle at this stage in the race. We go back to those two. To onboard Raggy now. Been trying to get past Besseling, and oh my god, that was so late on the brakes there from Raggy, and well done from Besseling for seeing that one coming. That was I think Raggy just missed his braking point by a bit more than a bit, but that was very, very scary. Besseling saw that one coming. I'm sure Raggy's not going to be happy with himself after that attempt of an overtake. I don't think it was intentional. But you see there on the back of Besseling's car, hashtag eat my tulips. Besseling is a Dutch driver, so that's why he's got that that phrase on his Porsche. And I think Raggy may have tried to have a taste there into the previous sector. But I'm sure one of these drivers is going to end up pitting very, very shortly now. Besseling after that, I think, doesn't really want... Oh no, that's the grass. Doesn't really want Raggy behind him. I would have definitely pitted there. But with Gallet pitting early, he's going to be... Oh, he should be in clean air. Let's have a look where he is on track. Yeah, it looks like he's in clean air. I think he's possibly going to be able to extend that gap now after the pit stops to Besseling and Raggy. So, like I said, if I were one of those two, Besseling or Raggy, I would have pitted by now. I would have aimed to pit before Gallet. But that's where strategy comes into play. And for those two, P7 and P8, I'm not sure it's going to work. They're going to lose even more time by battling. Not not sure they're too worried though about Galley when they're so focused on their own battle. And remember, it's each driver for their own. They've got no strategists, no race engineers or anything to be helping them out. So they've got to do it all on their own. They've got to drive the car at these high speeds, sort out the strategy, decide when to pit, and then try and battle with other drivers or other cars out on track. The gap between Pisano and Demori's come down once again. So Demori's closing that gap. And a bit of oversteer on the exit for Besselink. But yeah, the top three, Pisano, Demori and Faulkner, are still fairly close, and so is Vining in fact. Thomas closing in lap after lap. Last time around he did a 147, let's say 147.1 as a 0.92, but we'll round up just so it's easier. Now Besselink into the pits, there we go. But slowed down just in time. Back to the race leader. Last lap a 146.9, Demori 146.9 as well. And Faulkner, oh whoa, what's happened to Demori? He's lost the car, he's in the barriers. Oh no. And he's going to lose 2 positions. I think he managed to stay out the barriers then. Out of the tyre wall, yeah, I think he managed to. But those tyres aren't going to be happy with him. And he's not going to be happy with himself. He's catching up to Pisano, but he's lost so much time now. And he's lost 2 positions as well. Down to P4 he goes. Besselink is now out of the pits, I believe. But Thomas on the back of Demori. And in fact, where's Besselink? Whoa, what's happened here? He has jumped Galley. I think Besselink may not have changed his tyres. There's a 3-second gap between the two. Let's have a look. See if we can figure out if he's changed tyres or not. I think he hasn't. Actually, I'm not too sure, but I think he hasn't. We have to wait for the rest of the drivers to pit, because we've got varying pit times here. We've got 56 seconds, 58 seconds, 59 seconds, which seems to be around the 57 seems to be around the average, or 58 seems to be around the average. But then we've got Giuseppe on 77 and Besselink on 52. So we'll see when Demori and Raggy pit well, how long they've spent in the pit lane. In fact, Galley and Besselink, I believe, are the race leader. Pisano now coming up on them. They've got Tosha in the comments saying, "Go Galley, Ultra Galley." Yeah, he's doing a good job at the moment. The driver in front of him, Besselink, I believe, hasn't changed his tyres, but Galley is catching right up. 2 seconds now. It was 3 seconds before the well, as they exited the pits, but it's coming down. That gap is closing in so quickly, and that's Raggy now exiting the pits. Where is he going to come out? Looks like he's going to be behind these two. So yeah, I think Besselink hasn't changed his tyres. And oh, actually, no, I think Besselink just had a good stop. Or no, surely not. We've got to wait for more drivers to pit, because we've got Demori and Besselink both on 52 seconds. Raggy's just done a 55 second. So let's see, Thomas and Vining now into the pits. Those two, I'm sure, will change their tyres, especially in the car, with the car they're driving, the Mercedes. Then we'll get a real idea if Demori and Besselink have opted for the tyre change. Galley is really closing in on Besselink now, just a second between these two, and the roles are reversed. Besselink's got to do the defending, Galley's got to do the attacking now. Besselink really needs to defend if he wants to hold Galley behind. We've got blue flags there for Raggy now, with the race leader Pisano behind. Now, Vining and Thomas have had the pit stop 54 and 53 seconds. So I think they have, I think Besselink probably has changed tyres then. Well, it's so difficult to tell because the rate that Galley is catching, it just seems like Besselink is on his old set of tyres here. Now, last lap, Besselink has just done a 148.7. Galley was a whole second quicker. Well, mine, yeah, or even more actually. But 9/10 to a second quicker. That's lots of time difference between these two. Demori now on the back of Vining, in fact. That's another battle we're going to have to watch out for. And in fact, let's have a look at these two. While we go on board with Galley on the bottom right hand corner. And top three still yet to pit, Pizzado, Faulkner and Packham. Now what can Demori do here? Is he going to eye up a move into turn 2? You can see he's still staying in the slipstream, not thinking about anything into turn 1. He's going to carry that momentum to get a good run up towards turn 2, and Vining surely he's going to have to go defensive here. Demori looks towards the inside but backs out of it. A bit of a dummy there. Has he forced Vining wide? Oh, bit of contact between the two, and that is Vining round, but Demori backed out of that and let Vining continue on, but that's allowed Thomas to get past the both of them, and Vining wide once again, but Thomas now up into P4. And there we go, the race leader now into the pits. And it looks like Galley still on the back of Besselink here. Still unable to get past as well. Let's bring this up on our split screen. Okay, really putting on that pressure to Besselink with just 25 minutes left to go here on that tyre barrier, that bollard in nearly in the middle of the track. He's now got to get past Vining, do all that work again, but he's got to do it cautiously here without making contact. The Pisano, that last lap was a 56.6, Faulkner was a 52.6, and Faulkner's gained lots of time here on the Pisano. The gap's now down to 3.7 when it was about 9 seconds or so, so I think Faulkner hasn't changed tyres. I'm not sure, and Demori's got a good exit. In fact, Vining made a mistake, clipping the grass, and Demori's got the job done even before the braking zone of turn 2. And now he'll try to catch back up to Thomas. But it's not going to be easy whatsoever. We'll go on to the battle with, oh, what's happened to Giuseppe? He's facing the wrong way. He has had an absolute nightmare in this championship. He struggled with the car, struggled to keep the car pointing in the right direction. And he is not enjoying that Ferrari one bit. Pryor back into the pits now. Has he got a drive-through penalty? I'm not sure, but let's go to Galley and Besselink. And Galley has got past. We're going to have to bring up a replay of that, but let's have a look. Does Pryor have... No, he's retired from the race, unfortunately. I think he has, yeah. So that is Pryor out of the race. And let's take a look at this overtake on Besselink. Where did this happen? So it may have been a mistake from Besselink. No, it wasn't. So, oops, let's change this very quickly. Let's have a look now at the replay. So we can see here, Galley looking towards the inside. Besselink has to leave room, and there we go. Galley takes the racing line and gets ahead, but now Besselink tried for a position there, tried to get his nose down the inside to get the move back, but look how late on the brakes Besselink goes, not making contact, but lost him a bit of time there. But now he's trying to fight once again, but it's back to square one. He's going to look down towards the inside. Besselink way too late on the brakes there, and in fact he's going to lose the position now to Raggy as well, and that's similar to what Raggy tried on Besselink, but it didn't work. And Besselink now down into P9 there. But Galley's got to hold, end off Raggy. On board Raggy, late on the brakes there, no, way too late on the brakes there from Raggy. Surely he's going to have to return that position to Galley. I think that's going to be a steward report there, or an incident report from Galley to the stewards. So he's not going to be happy after that when he flashed his lights afterwards. Well, that's brought Besselink back into this battle. He's getting a bit elbows out in this race. Steph saying, looking like a great race. Never seen Snetterton in these conditions though. Yeah, last time we were at Snetterton it was raining, but Raggy going extreme defensive, and Galley trying around the outside, but he's not going to be able to get that done through there. No way, and oh, they've made contact! Besselink and Galley making contact there. Looks like it may have been a bit of a racing incident between the two, but Besselink came off worse, facing the wrong way. But there was nowhere for Galley to go, and McGowan now catching up as well. You can see he's in the background, not too far off. I believe he may be on the same lap, but it's not showing us at all. And there we go, pit window closed. So Besselink's got to catch back up. 8.8 seconds there for Galley. Let's go to Giuseppe once again on the grass. He is really struggling with the car here. He is not enjoying this whatsoever. I think Giuseppe may need to rethink his car choice, maybe go for a more stable car, a more stable setup even. He's all over the shop here. Back to Vining, he's about 2.5 seconds off to Demori. Steph saying his secondary camera, does it have a lot of saturation contrast? Yeah, it's to do with the, I won't get into it, but yes, it does look different. And finally making a bit of a mistake there, running wide. That could pick himself up a track limit warning. And he's got to be careful. We don't know how many warnings the drivers are on. But sometimes you can guess with the drivers taking a bit more cautiously towards the end of the race, and Giuseppe now into the pits. I believe it's surely got to be damage. I think it is. Yep, he's got some heavy damage on that Ferrari of his. May even retire the car. Unsure at this moment. Gale now 2 seconds off of Raggy. He's got to do all that work over again. And Besselik pretty much on his own now. Vining doesn't seem to be closing into Demori, and Demori isn't closing in on Thomas. Thomas that last time around did a 46.2, and for Pisano setting the fastest lap of the race that last time around as well, a 1:45.945 was his last lap. So lapping 45s in race pace. And he's absolutely unstoppable at the moment. Faulkner, as we saw, was about 3-4 seconds behind Pisano after the pit stops, but he's lost so much time after that. Although he's not lapping slowly as Faulkner. He did a 46.3, but it's just not as quick as Pisano. Pisano just seems to be able to lap that few tenths a lap quicker, and it all adds up over an hour's race. But we can see Zano is just using all the track, same as he was in qualifying, but he's pretty much putting consistent quality laps, lap after lap here. We did see him make a few mistakes throughout the race, but nothing that was out of the ordinary. We've still got plenty of time left to go, 16 minutes of the race left to go here, and we did have yellow flags. There was that Packham round. Packham is round, and he's got going once again. Where is Raggy? Nowhere near at the moment. Still a whole 10 seconds back, and you see him now coming onto the Williams straight. Packham lucky there that no one behind him was too close. Otherwise he could have seen himself losing some positions. Now Gale unable to close that gap to Raggy. Besselik's made another mistake. He's 17.5 seconds back. Gale, once he had that incident, he's not been able to keep that rhythm, and in fact these two, McGowan and Besselik, battling for position here. I'm not sure why it's not showing the gaps, but I've just noticed Thomas has taken fastest lap of the race. In fact, Pisano and Thomas both with the exact same fastest lap, a 1:45.945. Obviously it doesn't show it, it shows just Thomas as the fastest lap, but actually Thomas and Pisano have done the exact same fastest lap of the race. So we could have seen these two very close on the track together, but Thomas wanted to start from the back of the field as he's already won the championship coming into this round. Right, that is something you don't see often. Fastest lap with 1,000th being done between two drivers, and that's McGowan gonna get past him. No, that's Besselik. They're moving over and into the barriers they both go. Looks like he may have had a bit of oversteer on the exit, but they've both got damage. Looks like McGowan's car has come out worse. Besselik all over the shop today. I think he's going to get maybe some incident reports put in against him. Although it is the last round of the championship. He said he wasn't confident going into this round. He said he hasn't really done Snetterton before. And I think it's proving evident here, but he's going in P10 now, and he may be able to get this position back with that heavy damage that McGowan's got on his car. But surely not here. No, he's going to have to back out of that. And let's see, let's go on board with... Oh, Giuseppe's lost the car again. He's into the barriers for about the 4th time this race. Really struggling with the car is Giuseppe. Where is Besselink? Let's see. Is McGowan's steering straight? It's not. And he's going to have to serve a pit stop. In fact, Besselink now to the pits as well. So they're both pitting for damage repairs. And that's going to be very costly. I think McGowan's going to be in the pits for longer than Besselink. Giuseppe has got some heavy damage as well. He's lost the car once more. I think Giuseppe needs some serious help here. It's surely got to be something to do with the car. Obviously that damage is going to help him, but throughout the championship he's been losing the car this many times, nearly each round, and onto the grass once again. Don't want to be doing that. That might be how he's lost it the first few times, but he's really been struggling here with the car. But nevertheless, massive respect to him for continuing, and that's the only way to get better, really, is to continue out on track. And of course, as soon as I say that, he goes deep on the brakes. But we've got the race leader Pisano coming through now. There we go, Giuseppe moving out the way. I'm sure that damage isn't helping him. And where is Besselink? Where is McGowan? Still in the pits. I think they're going to be in there for a good minute or two. And Gallet now. A few seconds to... Oh, they've both come out at the same time here. McGowan's actually come out ahead of Besselink. No, there we go. So McGowan ahead. Maybe Besselink waited for him, I'm not sure. But still, the fastest out of the race, Pisano and Thomas have both got it. Steph saying just don't put a commentator's curse on Pisano. No promises. Just 10 minutes left. I don't think he'll make a mistake. He's not made many mistakes this race so far. I don't think we've been on board with the Porsches too much this race. So we've got on board with Besselink now. On the back of McGowan. They're getting a lot of curve there. Going to rear out slightly on the exit as well. Different lines for the two. McGowan missing the apex massively there, but Besselink isn't able to close the gap, getting onto the start-finish straight. Ow. Oh, very wide there from McGowan, and almost very wide. Oh, actually, taking a bit of grass was Besselink. Both these drivers struggling here in the last 10 minutes of the race. What can Besselink do? Is he able to get past McGowan? Oh, McGowan, hold on. I think it's just down to consistency here. And talking about consistency, McGowan makes another mistake very deep on the brakes there. Looks like Besselink is braking quite early into the corners. Not carrying the speed that he should. But there we go, he's got even closer, but the curb has caused the car, you can see, oversteer, and he's lost that time he gained. Yeah, going through the final corner now, going to take a bit of a curve on the inside, but it's no problem for the Mercedes whatsoever. And Besseling almost taking that grass once again. They're still on board with these two now, closest on track. Gallet closing into Raggy now though, 1.2 seconds off, and Besseling's got a good chance here to get past. Is McGowan going to go defensive? No, he doesn't. Oh, he thinks about it, but deep on the brakes, but he's got the car hooked in there. Track Gallet has closed up to Raggy now as well. We'll bring that up now. There we go. Almost within a second is Gallet to Raggy. And once again, the same corner that McGowan went wide on before. He's wide on again, and they are side by side here. Besseling's going to have to back out of this one. Surely he's not going to make the corner. And he does, but McGowan goes wide. Besseling has had his nose down the inside to force him into an error. And is the switchback going to work here? No, it looks like Besseling got a bit of oversteer. Can now. And McGowan onto the grass, still side by side. And we know what happened when these two were side by side before. There was contact. And there we go. Besseling now gets past up into P8, but going down into P9. But the Mercedes, he's got some serious straight line speed here. And he's going to have a look. He's got the slipstream. But no, backs out of it. And Besseling up into P8 now. And let's see if he can hold on to this position. There we go to Gallet and Raggy here. Just 5 minutes, or just under 6 left of the race to go. Race leader Pisano still 7 seconds ahead of Faulkner. And have we had a retirement? I think we lost Vining. I think we have lost Vining. Has he disconnected, or was that just a retirement for him? I'm not sure. Steph, oh yeah, you're quoting me in the comments. Oh god, nah, he's fine. I think he'll be fine here. Pisano's still got that 7-second gap to Faulkner. Gallet's really closing in now on Raggy. This could be a battle towards the last few laps. Through the final corner, these two go. Steph saying, looks like there'll be some close racing in the end here with Raggy and Gallet. Yes, there definitely will be. That last time around, Gallet's closed up, and look how much he's closing up towards turn 2. That last time around, Gallet was 2/10 quicker, but this lap, he has been so much quicker. He's glued to that rear bumper now on the exit. And they're just 4/10 apart, these two. Varying lines between the two. There we go, just looking for the inside is Gallet, trying to force an error from Raggy, and almost did there. how close Gallet is on the brakes, but he's had to overslow the car. You can see he's lost time now, and onto the grass he goes. So it's not helped him. Back to a second, there's a gap between these two. And Gallet needs to stop focusing on the entry to the corner, needs to focus on the exit. He's getting too close, under braking. And you know, as they say, the typical slow in, fast out is what Gallet needs to be doing here. He's, at the moment, he's doing fast in, slow out. And that is not helping him at all. And Thomas, 3.3 seconds back to Faulkner. Is he lapping quickly enough to catch up? I don't think he is, with the amount of time left in the race. I think Faulkner should be able to hold on to the P2, barring any mistakes he makes. But these two still battling, and once again, it's this first sector where Gallet closes so much on Raggy. That Porsche of Gallet is so much trickier in the first sector. You can see he's using that slip angle through the corners, maybe a bit too much though, because we did see the rear end come out a bit too much, and Raggy deep on the brakes. Gallet's got a good chance now of getting a move done, but where can he do it? No space here through this fast left-hander. This is where we've seen so many drivers lose the car. And deep, well, very deep on the brakes there from Raggy. Surely Gallet's going to have a move down the inside here. He looks for it, and no, Raggy's still be able to hold on, but he's gone wide. He's missed the apex by a mile there, and Gallet's now got a good run. He's got the slipstream, and can he get past? That's the wrong driver. He's going to pull towards the inside. We're going to have to go back trackside here. They are still side by side, and no, Raggy holds it around the outside there. They have the inside for the second part, and it's still Gallet behind Raggy, P7 and P8, P6 and P7, sorry. Brilliant driving, brilliant racing between these two. And where is our race leader now? Pisano. I'm not sure if he's on the last lap, actually. I'm not actually sure he's on the last. I think there is one more lap after this. Yeah, there should be one more lap after this. We're in the final sector now. So one more lap to go. And it is still Gallet and Raggy side by side here. Raggy on the inside, Gallet once again trying it around the outside, maybe for a switchback here. It's not going to work though through that hairpin. And he's going to have a look down the inside into turn 3. Tries it. He's got the inside line. Is there contact between the two? Yes, there is. And Gallet nearly losing the car. Well held slide from him. But elbows out between these two. And Gallet is trying everything he can on this last lap to get past. And where is Pisano? Yes, he is on the last lap now. We have to go back to this battle, surely. This is where we saw Raggy go deep in the brakes last lap. This time he's got it under control. And we'll go trackside for these two. Where's our race leader? Pisano. Oh, still got a bit to go actually. Yep, still got a bit to go. So back to this battle. Oh, there's been contact. What's happened there? That's Giuseppe. Backmarker has got involved here. And Gallet facing the wrong way here. What has happened there? That doesn't look to be good at all. We'll go back to our race leader, Pisano, but we need to bring up a replay of what happened between these two. What on earth has happened there? It's never good to see a backmarker involved in an incident with some of the lead cars. And what actually happened? Oh no. Oh, that was really unfortunate. not much they could have done, but Pisano is going to cross the line here to take P1 of the last round at Snetterton. And there we go, finishing in style. Faulkner is going to cross the line in P2. Thomas is going to cross the line in P3. Demori in P4. But let's get a replay up of this incident here towards the end. Here we go. So you can see Giuseppe loses the car, dips the wheel to the grass, holds the brakes, but there's nothing he can do there. And that was it. In fact, Raggy got involved in that incident as well. It was such a shame for the two of them. And Packham is going to cross the line in P5. I believe Raggy, Galley and Besnick have still got a lap to go. There should be close towards the end now, but Packham's going to cross the line there in P5. Where are these three? There we go. Raggy P6, Galley P7, Besnick P8, going P9, and Giuseppe in P10. But there we have it. Pisano P1, Faulkner P10. We've got some donuts going here to celebrate the end of the championship. But there we go. Pisano P1, Faulkner P2, and Thomas in P3. So we will get some interviews from the top three, and we will be back in just a moment. Okay, so we've got some interviews to get done now. Let's have our podium in. I think let's bring them all in at once for the end of the season. So let's bring everyone in at once just for the end of the season. Congrats to you guys, congrats to the podium, congrats to Thomas as well for the championship win. And as well, Pisano, Thomas, you two had the exact same fastest lap time in the race. Yes, yes. Yeah. Brilliant race there. And Ethan, how did you find that? Bad. Oh God, why'd you say that? Yeah, but obviously you missed a few rounds in the championships, but with that pace, I think you definitely had a top 5 finish in the championship, even a top 3, who knows? But yeah, nevertheless, congrats on the P2. And Pisano, very close between you and Thomas in the championship. Yeah. Yeah, we'd look forward to seeing you for the next championship. But yeah, the odds weren't in your favor for this one. But yeah, you know, it's not everyone's. What was I going to say? It's not everyone's day all the time. So you know, this time, Thomas, congratulations on the championship. Yeah. Yeah, and thanks to you three as well. Thanks to the rest of the drivers for attending this season. It's been a great season, and we look forward to seeing you guys for the next.